I have always maintained, no matter, and I've been in the business for over 30 years, that actually I did the most business in the down market, but listings are still the name of the game because, again, you can leverage listings. You can't leverage buyers like that. So the key is if you're, in a down market, you have to get your listings priced accurately. You've got to price right on, you've got to price where they're going to sell. So you need really strong skills. But one of the things as you shift to a buyer's market, agreed, you do want to, you do want to be more focused on working with buyers. But again, listen, do you have to, when I was selling up I was working on the west side in Los Angeles, so we had a lot of high-end listings. Do you have to accompany on every showing, or do you have lock boxes in your area?
No, we have lock boxes.
Oh yeah, we had to go on every single showing as a listing agent. It was just like you could carry 15 listings or so without an assistant, and after that you just had to have someone. So then if you can put things on a lockbox, then you can leverage listings. So it just the key thing is to get them priced right so that they'll sell. And if you have that skill, then that puts you in a great position to get them sold. So you want to be the most competitive listing in a given price range. But again, when you're trending towards a buyer's market, it is, a lot of first-time buyers have been shut out. That demand's there. And at NAR a little over a week ago, the chief economist for Realtor.com and Lawrence Young, who's the chief economist for NAR, are both just saying they're saying 2015 is going to be the year that the pent-up demand from Gen Y gets unleashed because they finally are getting their student loans paid off. And some of them have been able to save enough money to have a down payment. And they are also, excuse me, at the prime time for having children. And they believe, I have an article on it, and I'll say this in the next few weeks, but, their whole thing is baby needs her own room. So they're not, we have this image that they want to be in the downtown kind of hip lifestyle. That's only 15% of them. 77% are looking in the suburbs. So 2015 may be a watershed year for our Gen Ys coming in the market. Now, having said that, the folks that, the California market typically is a 10-year cycle. You started out of the recession in 2009. 2014, that's 5 years in. We would expect a slowing right now. And probably 2017 is what CAR is thinking may be kind of the next downturn after the presidential election. So this is, you're probably heading into a pretty balanced market for the next couple of years. And that's where I'd be, whenever I can get listings, I want to take listings, especially I don't have to show them if I can price them right. And if you can't price them right, then don't take them. That's the key thing. If you're in a buyer's market, you don't want an overpriced listing. You need to pass on those.
Great advice. Okay, I'll let you get back to it then. Thanks so much.
Okay, great. And I don't, I've gotten bounced off twice now. This is interesting. I've never had that happen before. So anyway, secret number 5, always set both business and personal goals. And as I started to explain about several minutes ago, is that if you have a pail and you put the big rocks in first, well, there's still room in. You could put some pebbles in, and that'll fill in. And of course, some people will say, well, once you've got the pebbles in, is it full? And a lot of people say yes, and they say, well, no, you can pour some sand in there, and that'll fill it up. But then, say it's got all the sand in it. Now, is it full? Well, it looks like it's full, but guess what? You can still pour some more water in it. The idea here is if I started with the pebbles or the sand, I would have never gotten the big rocks into the pail. So the idea here is that you want to identify your 3 big rock annual goals for both your business and your personal life. And you want to deal with those first. Everything else that you do is directed towards achieving those 3 goals. So choose those 3. And that's been really hard for me because I have my fingers in a whole lot of pies. And the woman who was my very dear friend and mentor said, you know what? Bernice, you've got to get it down to 3 things. She got all over me about it, and I've got the 3 things are taped to my computer screen, just as a reminder of what I'm supposed to be doing this next year. Those 3 things, and then if something doesn't fit into that, do I really want to bump one of those 3 things off the list to do that other thing? And that's the way you need to filter it. If I'm going to take on this other thing, What am I going to bump off? So secret number 5 is to set your monthly goals. And I like to use what I call the 4-3-2-1. And you begin with, first of all, 4 days off each month. And if this gets to be a problem to take off, a full day, and I've designated my Saturdays as my real estate free day, no matter how busy I am. I mean, it's got to be something really important for me to, take Saturday away from my day off, and then I try to schedule Sunday off if I can. But I want to take 4 days off each month. If you can't take a full day off, if you can maybe do from 1 o'clock on Friday to 1 o'clock on Saturday, or 1 o'clock on Saturday to 1 o'clock on Sunday. Again, the idea is to take time for you. Then take 3 nights each week that includes leisurely dinner with your loved ones, 2 full days each month to spend time with friends or family, and 1 day exclusively for yourself. So, your 4 days have 2 days to spend time with friends and family, and then 1 day that's for you. Whether you want to play golf, or the women, or even the guys like pedicures, or whatever it is, a self-care day, but that's time that you take for you and for you exclusively to do what supports you. Now, the reason it is so important to do these things, there is research that shows the 3 most important factors to stay healthy are, first of all, spending 3 days, you want to have, first, the number one thing is to first laugh and have fun. The research is really clear on this. Laughter raises your beta endorphins. It protects against heart disease, cancer, a whole variety of very serious illnesses. You want to laugh, the idea is to have 100 belly laughs every day if you can, something that just makes you laugh really, really hard. The second thing, and I mentioned this about having dinner 3 times a week, this is from the research of Paul Pearsall. They found that if you have dinner with loved ones 3 times a week, this wards off heart attacks and cancer. So again, it's just spending that time with people you care about. Take time, even if you have to go out on a listing appointment or do something after dinner, go spend that, 6 to 7:30 or, 6:30 to 8, whatever that break is, where you sit down and spend an hour and a half with your loved ones at dinner time. Now, the other thing is to help others. Service and helping others is also connected with longevity and good health. When you give to others, you feel good. Again, that releases the beta endorphins, which are your first line of defense. One of the reasons that people get so sick over the holidays is that they're trying to do too much, and they get stressed. And when they get stressed, then they're not taking care of themselves. So that's the reason we just try to press more into, we're still doing the same amount of work, plus we try to press shopping and cards and all the other things and parties and other things that go on, starting at this time of year. And it just, it makes us sick. So take those times off for you, but take time to get back to others. And this can be, volunteering at a school. It can be volunteering for Cub Scouts. It could be leading, it could be serving food at a food bank. It doesn't make a difference what it is. Wherever you can contribute, this makes a huge difference in when you give back, it comes back to you. Now, if you have problems, especially if you have children at home, or even if you don't, partner with another agent to create a support network where they can take your calls in the time that you're off. And it's really great if you can totally disconnect. I know some agents just tell their clients, look, I'm not available from 1 o'clock on Friday until 1 o'clock on Saturday. It's the time that I take, or I'm off on Saturdays. I'm available the other 6 days a week. If this is an emergency, please, you can text me. But in most cases, we can't do anything about what happens in a real estate transaction until, Monday morning. Now, if it's a multiple offer or something, of course, you're going to do that, but anyway, just stay on top of this with, getting someone to help you. And again, when you have a partner, it makes it so much easier. So secret number 6 is set your 3 big rock business goals. And you can decide what these are. They can be, some agents like to say, well, I want to sell 12 million. Others want to look at their GCI. Well, I want to earn $150,000 in commissions, and I want to net $75,000 after all expenses. You want to look at, you can look at net income to you as well. How will you grow your referral database? So one of the things I want to be looking at is your job comes down to generating leads, converting leads, closing transactions. So I want to have a goal for my production, or what I'm going to earn income-wise. I want to have a strategy for prospecting and growing my database. And I want to know how many listings and closed sales I'm going to do. And when you have these three things in mind, and they become your GPS for success, because that's what you're aiming for, and then you want to keep track of that. Now, secret number 7 is to schedule time to work on your business. And this comes from the book, if you haven't read this book, it's by Michael Gerber. It's called E-Myth Revisited. And what most of us do, we're very good at working in our business. So this means delivering, going on listing appointments, prospecting, closing escrows, that's working in our business. But what you want to do is you also want to work on your business. And what you're doing by being on this webinar today is that you are working on your business. By taking time off to work on a business plan, you're planning, that's what working on your business. It's good to take like maybe Sunday night, before the week begins, or first thing Monday morning, but spend some time to say, okay, what are my goals for this next week? What do I need to know? What do I need to do to hit them? What do I need to take care of in terms of my transactions? So, these are the things that you want to do at least once a week, just to kind of get your feel for the week. But then at least once a month, look at where you are production-wise, where business is coming from, what's getting in the way of you doing business. You want to be evaluating these things at least once a month. And it's good to just maybe go if you have a business coach, or if you're working with Melissa on it, maybe go to, just go, work with your coach on it, or work with Melissa if she has, if you can do that. Or you can just maybe go sit quietly somewhere, have a nice lunch somewhere, and just say, okay, how did I do this month? And just kind of sit there maybe with your tablet, or even if you've got it on your phone, and go over everything and just plan what you want to do. Now, what should you cover in your working on sessions? Number 1, you always want to ask which of my clients is closest to the money. So who is most likely to transact? A+ leads will transact in the next 1 to 14 days. A leads transact in 15 to 30. And B leads will transact in the next 31 to 60 days. C leads will transact in over 60 days. My focus, my top priority are these A leads and then going to the Bs. I'm not as concerned about the Cs, although their pipeline, I've got to take care of that. But where I really want to make sure that I am getting my focus is on these top 2 categories here. Now, the other thing you want to be asking is, what is the market doing? And Melissa, you noted, we're moving into a buyer's market. Well, that's really important, but in certain price ranges, there may be a buyer's market, and others it may be a seller's market. But the idea here is look at your sales board in your office and look at your local MLS. Where are the most things selling, and where are the most people listing? That's where you want to focus your effort, is where there's the most activity. And it shifts as the market shifts. The second thing you want to look at is what's in the pipeline. This can include your, the properties that are under contract, the things that are in escrow, or listings or pipeline. You may have people that are getting ready to list, they're getting their house staged, but you want to see what's coming up, and and what happens is a lot of times we forget to feed the pipeline. Also, do I have any properties that need to have a price reduction? Or maybe they need to have the photos changed, or they've upgraded the property, or if there's something that's changed about the property, I want to take care of that. And then again, I want to go to my production. Where am I getting the most leads? Where should I get the most leads? What I'm looking at, what do my numbers say? So I want to focus my activity in 2 different places. First of all, where is the market active? And where am I generating my leads? Those 2 things. Again, where's the market active, most active, and where am I generating my leads? And then you also want to track which activities are producing the most closed sales. So I might be getting a lot of listing leads, and I'm getting listings signed, but if they're not selling because the market has gone into a buyer's market and I'm weak on getting price reductions, then maybe I want to focus somewhere else where I don't have to deal with that. Again, so this is something that changes constantly as the market changes. Now, to set your monthly business goals, okay, if I'm netting $4,000 per transaction, and I need 75 domestic clients to get my 25 closed transactions. Well, I'm going to need approximately 6 to 7 clients per month to hit that, because about 2 of them will close per month. So again, that's just the way to look at this. Also, we talked about the price reductions. Lead generation activities. How many new people did you contact by using what strategies? One of my favorite ways to, I wish I had a dog now. If I were actively selling, I probably would get one. But if you have you have a dog that you love to walk, and the dog's a nice dog, and people come up to it, you can go to Starbucks and sit outside, and have your iPad or tablet, other tablet with you, and just sit there and go through the listings. You got the dog with you. People come up to see the dog, have a